Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to the Sunday Feast class today. My name is Shraddha Devi Dasi, and from now till 5 o'clock today, I'll be with you, and we will be doing Krishna Katha. So we'll start as usual with the Mangala Charan prayers. So you can sing along with me. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjan Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyev cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Can somebody just, Murali, can you ask the devotees standing outside to keep it a little bit low there? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So I'm going to be using some images and text in my presentation today, and they are from permission of the BVT. So we are here today, and I wanted to see what have we won today by being here in the temple at this particular time. So let's list that out. The first thing is that it's the month of Karthik, and we are at the temple, so that itself is an amazing thing. And in the temple, we are sitting here in the Krishna Katha, and as they say that when there is Krishna Katha going on, there are three sections or three sets that get benefited. The one is the speaker, which is going to be myself, and then the other is the listeners. That's another set who get benefited. And the third set is anybody else in between the two. So everybody else, anything, all entities here inside this room, whether they are visible or whether they're not visible, they still can hear Krishna Katha if they have the ears. And then, of course, all of you who are watching us online here, we all get benefited. And the beauty of this is that if we do devotional service during the month of Karthik, so it's like buy one, get one free. It's not even buy one, get one free. It's like buy one and get million free. That kind of a sale is going on in the month of Karthik. So any efforts that we put in the devotional service gets you a lot more results than it would during the rest of the year. So if we missed on doing anything throughout the year, but if we do it during the month of Karthik, it kind of compensates. And it's not even compensating. It actually, gives you many fold more than what you'd have done. So we are going to make the most use of this because we are here. It's month of Karthik. We will use every possible minute of the 1.5 hour minutes that we have here today in the association of devotees. And that's very important. Devotional service, it's very difficult to do it alone. Because when we are doing devotional service alone, there is a big enemy that is right with us. Can anybody guess who that big enemy is? The mind. And who said that? Oh, Mataji, Hima Mataji. Good. Yeah, maybe we can have some microphones in the back. Charu Namai Prabhu or somebody can get those. Because we are broadcasting on the Facebook, YouTube, and so people can't hear it. So, Prabhu, maybe we'll keep one at the back? Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you, Dilip Prabhu. Thank you, Charu Namai Prabhu, for that. Yeah, so I was talking about Karthik and the fact that if we perform devotional service in the Karthik and in the association of devotees, and that is what we see that in the Srimad Bhagavatam, when Parikshit Maharaj has been, cursed to die in 7 days, and he spends those 7 days in listening to Krishna Katha. And at the end of it, after Shukdev Goswami has narrated all the 18 cantos of Bhagavatam to him, Parikshit Maharaj prays. He prays because he knows now he's about to die. And he says that in his next birth, what he wants is good relationships with the devotees. Because devotees are very powerful, and we prayed a little while ago. We said, Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patidanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So they are powerful. And we are all here, at least I am here, because of the mercy of a very powerful Vaishnava, Srila Prabhupada, and who has this power to make changes in people's life. And when a devotee is trying to make changes in people's life, Krishna is very pleased, and Krishna does everything to help that devotee out. So we should always try to do things in the association of devotees. Mat chitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam. So Krishna says that devotees sit down in groups and they discuss about Krishna, and they get tushyanti cha ramanti cha. They get completely absorbed in that, and they enjoy. They are very tushyanti. They get satisfied by listening to Krishna Katha. And the interesting thing is that there's nothing else that's going to satisfy us truly, right? So we go out, we spend a couple of $100 to a restaurant, or maybe even more, and we eat it, but that's fine. As we're eating it, we are counting the calories, or at least I do, and then afterward it's like, well, something was missing there. But when it's Krishna Katha, and we would have noticed that when we come here, especially on a day when we are fasting, and Vaisheshika Prabhu or His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj, exalted devotees, they come and they preach the whole day. And it's like we sit here mesmerized and we don't even feel the hunger. So there's something else that is satisfying a bigger need that we have in our lives. And that gets satisfied, so we forget about the smaller needs of our life. So association of devotees is very important. And the fact that we are here, that I would say is a big thing that we have won, to be here during the month of Karthik, engaged in devotional service in the association of the devotees. And then the second thing is, so while I'm here, I also wanted to, like I said, that 3 people get benefited by Krishna Katha, so I'm one of them, because I'm going to speak today. And so I wanted to thank schedulers, Hansapriya Mataji and Gandharvika Mataji, for giving me this opportunity during the month of Karthik to come and, do Krishna Katha. And so thank you so much, wherever you are, Matajis. And then when I come here and I give the lecture, Sunday Feast lecture, or talk about Krishna, I cannot give the lecture without the mercy of some of the people who have been very influential in my life. And I'm listing them in the next slide. So Srila Prabhupada, of course, he has been influential in all of our lives. I'd also like to thank my spiritual master, Vaisheshika Prabhu. And my Siksha Guru, Shivas Pandit Prabhu, has painstakingly trying to teach us the Shastras and going deeper into the meanings of the Shastras and teaching us how to relish reading the Shastra. That also is an art, right? And then last not the least, my Prabhu, Rakesh Prabhu, is sitting at the back. So when I come here and I prepare for these classes or do any of the devotional service, any of the services, there's a lot that our spouses have to take and adjust. So it goes without saying that, I should be thankful, and I am very grateful for that as well. So I said that, this is month of Karthik, and whenever we do certain austerities or any devotional services, anything that we do, we get the results and we get it manyfold. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that in second chapter, he's saying that neha bhikramo nasosti pratyavayo na vidyate. So he says that in sualpam, so he says that in devotional service, the thing is very different from how it is in the material world. In devotional service, even if you do a very little amount, very little work that you do in devotional service, it's not going to get wasted. But whatever we do in the material world, it is guaranteed to get wasted. It's not going to be everlasting like that, right? So can you give me an example of efforts that can get wasted? You can take your mic and you can, I want this to be an interactive session here. So, Mantra Siddhi Mataji, go ahead. The yellow mic, please.
Yeah, so in our jobs, how much you do, you always get complaints that this is left, you never met the deadlines, or anything you do with in your personal life, material things, people never get satisfied. There's something another is missing for them.
Something or other is missing. Exactly, very right. So all the endeavors that we make in our professional careers, the boss will not be happy still. We could be putting, so much of efforts there, and then suppose, what about the situation that, we are very happy in our devotional service, in our material life. We're very happy, boss is happy, you're getting promotions after promotion. So why is that not the ultimate for us? What is the loss in that? What is the ultimate in our life? Hare Krishna. Yeah, please use the mic. Excellent, yeah.
Material energy will never be the same. It's always changing. So if it's happy now, it won't always stay the same forever.
It's guaranteed. It's going to change. And what is the ultimate change in the life that we have to make? The change of the body. Right? Utkramantam sthitham vapi. In the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Utkramantam sthitham vapi bhunjanam va gunanvatam vimura nanu paschanti jnana chakshusha. So he says that Utkramantam sthitham. Utkramantam means to skram is step. So stepping out. So when the soul steps out of the body, which is death, or steps into the body, sthitham, takes birth, right? This is all going on. So no matter how successful we are in our careers, ultimately the death is the final equalizer. It equalizes everybody and we go into the ground, right? Whether we are burnt or whether we are buried or whatever it means that we do, right? So it's not permanent. Sorry? Can I just add a word? Absolutely. What's the color? We can tell the broadcasting booth. The white.
Thank you. The scriptures say very beautifully that growth is so continuous in the material world that never going to stop for anything. But if some people rise out of it and make the growth spiritual, then at each point there is a restraint and the world would then get into a better order. I think that sort of talks about material world.
Very good. Yeah, thank you so much. And one of the nice points that you have brought out is that the changes and the growth keeps on happening. And in the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Bhutva bhutva praliyate. There is growth also, and then there is death also. Right? For after every growth, there's a death. And we can see that. I mean, where is Sears, the company Sears? Where is Kmart? Where are these companies gone? They were big companies, right? I was hired to come to USA to work for one of these companies. So it is a fact, and the sooner we realize that fact, and as you said, that sooner we try to reach and aim for something which is higher than that, right? Which is higher than the material gains that we are trying to do. That is the ultimate. And so the problem is that, and there's a need pyramid that we have, right? So there are lower needs and there are higher needs and the higher needs, like that. For example, for some, the need is just to, where is my food? Where am I going to get the next food? So the whole focus is there, right? But for one for whom food is easily attained, then the sense gratification comes. Where's the movie? Right? So it keeps on going on. So once the lower need is satisfied, you have to rise to the higher need. And if that higher need is not satisfied, you will feel bored. So that is why after watching all the movies and rising higher up the pyramid, right? Up the pyramid, still the happiness is not there till we hit the highest need of the soul. And the highest need of the soul is prema pumartha mahan. And that is to achieve the love of Krishna. Till you don't achieve that, we can have as many relationships as we like. We can go through all kinds of career moves, but we'll never be happy, we'll never be satisfied. So we can congratulate ourselves that we have found that part. We have at least agreed to it. One part of curing a particular thing is to know that there is a problem and to accept it also is another good step there, right? So, so in this, during the month of Karthik, let's just do everything possible that we can do. So there's very nice few verses which are Vigyapti Panchaka. So we'll recite again all of them together so that you also participate. And one of the things about the tongue is that we have to make and utilize the tongue in the service of the Lord. And it says that Seva Mukho hi jivado. Atha Shri Krishna namadi na bhaved grahyam indriye. Sevan Mukho hi jivyado. Swayam ev spratyada. So it says that if I sit down and if I say that I'm going to find Krishna somehow, I'm going to sit down and write a computer program so that Krishna is going to manifest himself, it's not going to happen. Or if I say that, if somehow I can wear some kind of a special glasses, like you go to all these game places, they'll put you virtual reality and all that, and you've got special glasses that you seem to see, or a telescope from which you can see distant planets, and you can say, okay, I'm going to go behind the labs and I'm going to invent a telescope that's going to show me Golok Vrindavan, right? So this verse says that no, that's not going to happen to you. With your indriyas, with your current senses and your material senses, that's not going to happen. So atha Krishna nam adi na bhaved graham indriya. Krishna and his names, etc., you won't be able to realize them just by your senses. Sevan mukho hi jivha dao. So it says, but you have to do service. Now you have to service starting with jivha. Adao means first. So you have to first start doing the service with your tongue, right? So the tongue can do two things. The tongue can talk and the tongue can taste, right? So tasting we are going to do later in the day. But the first part, the talking part, we can do now, right? So the more we engage our tongue in chanting the glories of the Lord, the better it is for us and for those who are listening to that. So, Vigyapti Panchaka, nice verses we sometimes do as part of the Mangalacharan also, the longer terms. So let's go into this now. So let's do this translation first, and I want some participation again. Whoever has a mic wants to grab and read the translations here. Anybody wants to take it?
Yes, I can do.
Okay, you said that.
Can you hear?
Go ahead, yes, we can hear you.
O Purusastam, no sinner or offender is as bad as I am. How can I describe my shame? Just as the minds of young ladies take pleasure in a young man, and the minds of a young man takes pleasure in a young woman, kindly let my mind take pleasure in you alone.
So isn't that a very powerful statement?
Yeah, it's very powerful.
Right? When we are recently married, we are thinking about the spouse. Even 25 years into it, we're thinking about the spouse. We're thinking it's such a nice marriage, maybe in a different way. but we do. And but what this verse is saying, he's saying, well, the good thing is, see, the good thing looking into this verse is, sometimes people say that I'm not able to concentrate. How can I concentrate on Krishna? I can't concentrate. No, you can. Yuvati nam yatha yuni. just as young boys and girls can concentrate full attention into those. Similarly, so that means that I have got the capability to concentrate. All that I have to do is to change the object of my concentration. That's all I have to do, right? So this is what the verse is saying, that, And second thing is that I am accepting that there is something wrong with me. Matsamo nasti papatma. There's nobody else who's a bigger sinner than I am. Otherwise, what happens is, even after coming to devotional service, we see in Chaitanya Charitamrita, people were even blaspheming Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they were saying, I think he eats too many sweets because I saw there are ants in his room. Right? So that tendency is there in those fallen souls like us. So let's go and do the verse here. There are two verses actually together. Matsamo nasti papatma na paradhi. I'm not hearing enough. It's one against the 30 here. Okay, louder. Give it. It's Karthik. You're going to get benefited by that. Okay, one more time. Matsamo nasti papatma na paradhi chakaschana parihare chimadhyame kim bhruve purushottama yuvatinam yatha yuni yunam cha yuvata yatha mano bhi ramate tadvan mano me ramatam tvai. So there's nobody worse than I am, and then please help me concentrate on you. Okay, let's look at the third verse. You wanted to go, right? Yeah, go ahead.
Just as the ground is the only support for those whose feet have slipped, you alone are the only shelter for those who have offended you.
Offended you. Again, a very beautiful verse, which brings a very important thing to the fore, and that is that when I'm sitting on the ground, like you're sitting, right? Or if I'm walking on the ground, who is it that is supporting me? The ground itself, right? I just don't fall into oblivion. And then if I slip and fall, where do I go? Ground itself, right? So if you look deeper into it and then extrapolate that and you say, okay, I am supported by ground, but who is supporting the ground? Right? So as you start to extrapolate that, you'll come to conclusion that Krishna supports everything. Right? So this is basically for you that Krishna, you are supporting me in every situation. So when I'm doing good, you are supporting me. But if I am bad, where will I go? There's no other place that I can go other than Krishna. It's a very, very powerful prayer over here, right? With very deep meaning. And to understand that even if I have sinned, even if I have done anything wrong, only Krishna can save us because He's the ultimate shelter, right? Bhumau skhalita padanam bhumire vavalambanam tvai jata paradhanam tvameva sharanam prabho. Then let's look the translation for the next one. Anybody wants to take? All right, Simi Mataji. Thank you. Yeah, maybe if you switch it on, everybody can benefit.
O Srimati Radharani, beloved of Lord Govinda, this is my request. May you and Lord Govinda consider me one of your assistants.
All right, so who is Govinda's beloved? Radharani. Okay, Radharani, see how beautifully she's dressed today, isn't it? Very nice. Okay, so Govinda Vallabhe Radhe Prarthaye Tvamaham Sada Tvadiyam iti janatu Govindo Mam Tvaya Saha. So what is the thing that is coming out of this verse? Where is the emphasis in this verse? Yes, exactly right? So they are trying to bring out and emphasize on the service mood, the service aspect, that I am a dasanu das, right? Like that. So she's saying, consider me as one of your assistants. Didn't say consider me as one of your friends. That's what we try to do in our life, right? It's when we are socializing, we're trying to make friends of influential people, right? And so may you and Lord Govinda consider me to be one of your assistants. That's the mood in our parampara serving. Okay, and then having made that plea, what are we saying to Srimati Radharani? Microphones, anybody? All right, Vrinda Sevika. Nataji.
O Srimati Radharani, O Queen of Vrindavana, you are a river flowing with the nectar of mercy. Please be kind to me and give me a little service at your lotus feet.
Thank you. Radhe Vrindavanadhishe Karunamritvahini Kripaya Nij Padabja Dasyam Mahyam Pradiyatam. Right? So again it's saying that it's about the mood of the service. The service is not something that we can just grab and take it and do it, no matter how much we may want, right? And endeavor to do it unless we have the mercy of the Lord. And then here they're saying, Srimati Radhani, you're the queen of Vrindavan, and you are a river flowing with the nectar of mercy. You're full of mercy. And I'm looking for mercies. You're full of it. Just give me a little bit of that, right? And so in the previous verse we were talking about, we were praying to a beloved of Govinda, and may you and Lord Govinda consider me. So we wanted in that verse to be servants of both Govinda and Radha. But in this particular word, we are only praying to Radharani, because we are knowing who is more merciful between the two of them, right? And as His Holiness Kirira Swami Maharaj says that Krishna, Radharani is the best of the devotees, and Krishna likes everything that Radharani does. He says that Krishna likes what Radha does, and Krishna does what Radha likes. So you know where you should be going and where you should be putting your energy. So these prayers are going over there in that direction there, right? So that was one thing that we won. It's the month of Karthik, and we are here doing engaged in devotional service to the Lord. And then the second one is that this is Diwali, right? It's Diwali season. There's festivities everywhere around. Shops are full of, merchandise, and people are out. We are out there making the most of these festivals, distributing books all over the place. And then let's see, when we talk about Diwali, there are 5 days that we celebrate. At least in India we do that. I don't know how much we do that in USA, but that is what it is here. So day 1 is the Dhanvantri Trayodashi. People also call that as Dhanteras, right? So Dhanvantri is a incarnation of the Lord, and you can read about his incarnation, his appearance in Srimad Bhagavatam. He's there in the first canto, 3rd chapter, and then again he will come in the canto that talks about the churning of the ocean of milk, right? Which canto is that? Okay, that's a homework for all of you to find out which canto, huh? 8th canto, that's right. 8th canto is the churning of the ocean and of the milk ocean. So he comes out and right? So this is Dhanvantari, and he comes and he's the father of Ayurveda. So he gives us the Ayurvedic system of medicine. And so whenever you go to an Ayurvedic clinic and an Ayurvedic doctor place, you will find Dhanvantari, a statue or a deity of Dhanvantari over there. Okay, so day 1 is Dhanvantari. People celebrate that in various ways. And then the second one is Narak Chaturdashi. So it's the 14th day, Narak Chaturdashi. And we have got information about Narak Chaturdashi in Srimad Bhagavatam 10:59. So we're going to go that, and we're going to relish this. And we're going to relish it together, right? So I need to skip that. I think I got that going wrong, in the wrong place. I'll have to skip some of them. Charunmai Prabhu, how do I get to Srimad Bhagavatam? Will you be able to project Bhagavatam? 10:59. Can you do that? Can I point? How do I do that? Can you click on your screen and show that to us? Will it do that or not? Okay. And when there is a lull, what do we do? To put pressure on the broadcasters, we start singing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. There you go. Before we finish the mantra, he got it. Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, so we'll scroll down to the verses, and then we will read the verses, maybe three each. Okay, so you can grab your microphones, and just the translations we'll do, and not the purport. So we can skip the Sanskrit and everything, just the translations. Okay, thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah, who wants to go for it? Talk about killing of the demon. Anybody wants to read 3 verses? You want to do it? Okay, you want to do it. Okay, there are some more new ones. Okay, take it, Mataji. Yeah, 3 verses, yeah. Just the translation, yeah. Thank you.
Translation. King Parikshit said, how was Bhaumasura, who kidnapped so many women, killed by the Supreme Lord? Please narrate this adventure of Lord Saranga Andarva. Translation. Shukadeva Goswami said, after Bhauma had stolen the earrings belonging to Indra's mother, along with Varuna's umbrella and the demigod's playground at the peak of Mandara mountain, Indra went to Lord Krishna and informed him of these misdeeds. The Lord, taking his wife Satyabhama with him, then rode on Garuda to Prayogirsapura, which was surrounded on all sides by fortification consisting of hills, unnamed weapons, water, fire, and wind, and by obstructions of Mura Pasha wire. Translation. Text 4. With his club, the Lord broke through the rock fortifications. With his arrows, the weapon fortifications. With his disc, the fire, water, and wind fortifications. And with his sword, the Mura Pasha cables.
Okay, thank you,
Thank you,
Mataji. Right. So what has Lord done? So obviously Bhaumasura, right? But we were talking about killing of the demon Narakasura or Narak, right? So it's the same person. He also goes by the name Bhaumasura. And he's called Bhauma because he's the son of Bhumi. So that's why Bhumi's son is Bhauma, and he's an Asura, so he becomes Bhaumasura, right? So killing of Bhaumasura. And so, it is Chaturdashi, right? And which is today. Right? So today is the day when this pastime was enacted by the Lord. Okay? And who else? Okay, yeah, Prabhu, go ahead.
With the sound of his conch shell, Lord Gadadhara then shattered the magic seals of the fortress, along with the hearts of its brave defenders, and with his heavy club, he demolished the surrounding earthen ramparts. The five-headed demon Mura, who slept at the bottom of the city's moat, awoke and rose up out of the water when he heard the vibration of Lord Krishna's Panchajanya conch shell, a sound as terrifying as the thunder at the end of the cosmic age. Shining with the blinding, terrible effulgence of the sun's fire at the end of a millennium, Mura seemed to be swallowing up the three worlds with his five mouths. He lifted up his trident and fell upon Garuda, the son of Taksha, like an attacking snake.
Okay. Have you done 3? 5, 6, 7?
Mura whirled his trident and then hurled it fiercely at Garuda, roaring from all 5 mouths. The sound filled the earth and sky, all directions and the limits of outer space, until it reverberated against the very shell of the universe.
Okay, thank you. So what is the name of Krishna's conch shell? Panchajanya. And how many heads does Mura have? Okay, all right. Let's go. Anybody else? Okay, go ahead, Prabhu.
Then with 2 arrows, Lord Hari struck the trident flying toward Garuda and broke it into 3 pieces. Next the Lord hit Mura's faces with several arrows, and the demon angrily hurled his club at the Lord. Text 10. As Mura's club sped toward him on the battlefield, Lord Gadagraja intercepted it with his own disc, and broke it into thousands of pieces. Mura then raised his arms high and rushed at the unconquerable Lord, who easily sliced off his heads with his own disc. Text 11. Lifeless, Mura's decapitated body fell into the water, like a mountain whose peak has been severed by the power of Lord Indra's thunderbolt. The demon's 7 sons, enraged by their father's death, prepared to retaliate.
Okay. So, so what are some of the things that Krishna has been doing in these verses?
He's counteracting the weapons.
Number 1, he counteracted the weapons, he broke them, right? What else is he doing? He blew his conch shell, right? He slashed that severed the head, right? Okay, let's continue. Please, you want to read, Mataji? Yeah, go ahead, please.
Text 12. Ordered by Bhaumasura, Maura's 7 sons, Tamra, Antariksha, Shravana, Vibhavasu, Vasu, Nabhaswan and Aruna, followed their general Pita onto the battlefield bearing their weapons. Text 13. These fierce warriors furiously attacked invincible Lord Krishna with arrows, swords, clubs, spears, lances, and tridents, but the Supreme Lord with unfailing prowess cut this mountain of weapons into tiny pieces with his arrows. Text 14. The Lord severed the heads, thighs, arms, legs, and armor of these opponents led by Pitha, and sent them all to the abode of Yamraja. Narakasura, the son of earth, could not contain his fury when he saw the fate of his military leaders. Thus he went out of the citadel with elephants born from the milk ocean, who were exuding mada from their foreheads out of excitement.
Okay, nice. Who else? You want to do it? Okay, go ahead. Yes.
Lord Krishna and his wife, mounted upon Garuda, looked like a cloud with lightning sitting above the sun. Seeing the Lord, Bhoma released his Shatagni weapon at him, whereupon all of Bhoma's soldiers simultaneously attacked with their weapons. At that moment, Lord Gadagraja shot his sharp arrows at Bhomasura's army. These arrows, displaying variegated feathers, soon reduced that army to a mass of bodies with severed arms, thighs, and necks. The Lord similarly killed the opposing horses and elephants. Lord Hari then struck down all the missiles and weapons the enemy soldiers threw at him, O hero of the Kurus, destroying each and every one with 3 sharp arrows. Meanwhile, Garuda, as he carried the Lord, struck the enemy's elephants with his wings. Beaten by Garuda's wings, beak and talons, the elephants fled back into the city, leaving Narakasura alone on the battlefield to oppose Krishna.
Okay, thank you. So one of the things that we notice here is Krishna has been killing, and then in this verses, he killed them all. So completely gone, complete clean swap he's doing there, right? Okay, should we continue? Yeah, go ahead.
Seeing his army driven back and tormented by Garuda, Bhoma attacked him with his spear, which had once defeated Lord Indra's thunderbolt. But though struck by that mighty weapon, Garuda was not shaken. Indeed, he was like an elephant hit with a flower garland. Bhoma, frustrated in all his attempts, took up his trident to kill Lord Krishna. But even before he could release it, the Lord cut off his head with his razor-sharp chakra as the demon sat atop his elephant. Fallen on the ground, Bhaumasura's head shone brilliantly, decorated as it was with earrings and an attractive helmet. As cries of "Alas, alas" and "Well done" arose, the sages and principal demigods worshipped Lord Mukunda by showering him with flower garlands.
Okay, thank you. Okay, there in the back, yeah.
The goddess of the earth then approached Lord Krishna and presented him with Aditi's earrings, which were made of glowing gold inlaid with shining jewels. She also gave him a Vaijayanti flower garland, Varuna's umbrella, and the peak of Mandara mountain. O king, after bowing down to him and then standing with joined palms, the goddess, her mind filled with devotion, began to praise the Lord of the universe, whom the best of demigods worship. Goddess Bhumi said, "Obeisances unto you, O Lord of the chief demigods, O holder of the conch shell, disc and club, O supreme soul within the heart, you assume your various forms to fulfill your devotees' desires. Obeisances unto you."
Okay, so let's wait here. Just pause here and go back to previous one. So up until now, Krishna has been killing left, right, and center, breaking the weapons, chopping off heads, doing a clean, swipe of everything. And now she's praising the Lord. The mother is praying the Lord. And so what characteristics of Lord now come out in these words? So up until now, we were looking at his relationship with the demons, right? The asuras. And now what is it? It kind of went away. But doesn't matter, yeah. So now she's talking about how he relates with his devotees, right? With his devotees in a nice manner, right? Okay, can we just go back one verse, please, Prabhu? Yeah. What does he do? What is the relationship with the devotees? Yeah. You assume your various forms for what?
Fulfill your
devotees' desires, right? You see? So the relationship is so different with the asuras as well as compared to the devotees. Okay, let's continue. I had stopped you in the middle. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
My respectful obeisances are unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is marked with a depression like a lotus flower, who are always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers, whose glance is as cool as the lotus, and whose feet are engraved with lotuses.
Okay, we'll stop here because it's a nice verse where he's describing, and we always use the word lotus while we're describing the Lord. And so there's a very nice verse in Kunti Maharani's prayer which also kind of alludes to this. Anybody remembers that and wants to share it here? All right, go for it. Yes, Prabhu.
Namo Pankajanaಭಾಯ Namah Pankajamaline Namah Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangre.
Very nice. Yeah, so she's again, same thing. Almost the same descriptions. Yeah, please continue, Prabhu. 27, please, for us. Yeah, thank you.
Obeisances unto you, the Supreme Lord Vasudeva, Vishnu, the primeval person, the original seed. Obeisances unto you, the omniscient one.
So obeisances unto you, we do that all the time. When we write emails, we say, please accept my respectful obeisances. We're talking about obeisances, but there's a very nice verse in Bhagavad Gita where Arjuna is saying obeisance to you from the left, from the right, from the front, from the back, right? What had happened that he started saying that? He saw the universal form of the Lord, right? So it's a very common thing for us to offer obeisance to the Lord. And so she's glorifying the Lord. Okay, so let's continue with our reading.
Obeisances unto you of unlimited energies, the unborn progenitor of this universe, the absolute. O soul of the high and the low, O soul of the created elements, O all-pervading supreme soul, obeisances unto you. Desiring to create, O unborn master, you increase and then assume the mode of passion. You do likewise with the mode of ignorance when you wish to annihilate the universe, and with goodness when you wish to maintain it. Nonetheless, you remain uncovered by these modes. You are a time, the pradhana, and the purusha, O Lord of the universe, yet so you are separate and distinct.
Yes, and as Prabhu had pointed out in the beginning that, there is a lot of creation going on, things are happening. So this verse is also talking about the same, that when he desires to create, he creates, but then also he will annihilate it. So again, talking about what are the things that Krishna does, we saw Krishna breaking the weapons, killing people, taking care of his devotees, then the creative side of Krishna here, right? And we also saw a little description of Krishna as to how his navel is like, depression of the navel is like a lotus, his eyes are like lotus, his feet are like lotus, and so on and so forth. Okay. And he's one without a second, right? There's nobody like Krishna. Okay, let's continue on.
This is illusion, that earth, water, fire, air, ether, sense objects, demigods, mind, the senses, false ego, and the total material energy exist independent of you. In fact, they are all within you, my Lord, who are one without a second.
One without a second. So it's a very nice thing that she's saying that this is the illusion, right? So what is the illusion part of it? I mean, there is earth, there is fire, there is water, isn't it? So from where is the illusion part coming? Where's the illusion? It's there. It's very much there. Prabhupada says it exists. Earth, water, fire, air. Krishna says, Bhinna Prakriti Ashtada. These are my energies. So Krishna doesn't say they're illusion. So where is the illusion part coming here in this verse? Go ahead.
Seeing them as not the energy of the Lord.
Seeing them as separate from the Lord, and that's where, right? And actually in the Chaturshloki Bhagavatam also, thank you so much, Prabhu. Chaturshloki Bhagavatam also, Brahma, Krishna says, Rite Ritam Yat Pratyeta Na Pratyeta Atmani, right? So everything, which is not connected to me, consider that to be Maya, right?
Right.
Otherwise, everything else is fine. And that's what we do when we like this is Maya, this microphone is Maya, but we are using this microphone in the service of the Lord, then it is not Maya. Right now, if I use this microphone to belt Bollywood songs, then it is Maya. Like that. So that's what the idea is. Yes, Prabhu?
Here is the son of Bhaumasura, frightened. He is approaching your lotus feet, since you remove the distress of all who seek refuge in you. Please protect him. Please place your lotus hand, which dispels all sins, upon his head.
Can we go back a little bit? Okay, so how is he describing things about Krishna? What does he remove? The distress of all who seek refuge in him, right? So first you have to take refuge in him. Bhuma Uskalita Padanam Bhume Mera. Right? So we prayed that in the Vigyapti Panchaka, that we are accepting that, I am under your shelter. That itself is a big thing, to acknowledge that, I'm not the doer. Krishna is the doer. I'm totally dependent on him. Okay.
Sukadeva Goswami said, thus entreated by Goddess Bhumi, in words of humble devotion, the Supreme Lord bestowed fearlessness upon her grandson and then entered Bhaumasura's palace, which was filled with all manner of riches. There Lord Krishna saw 16,000 royal maidens whom Bhauma had taken by force from various kings. The women became enchanted when they saw that most excellent of males enter. In their minds they accepted him who had been brought there by destiny as their chosen husband. With the thought, may Providence grant that this man become a husband, each and every princess absorbed her heart in contemplation of Krishna. The Lord and the princess arrayed in clean, spotless garments and then sent them in palanquins to Dwaraka together with great treasures of chariots, horses and other valuables.
So the interesting thing is here is that Krishna has sent them off. Yeah, with chariots, etc. He has not gone with them yet, right? And also the interesting thing we were talking in the beginning, in the Vigyapti Panchaka prayers is Yuvti nam yatha yuni yunam cha yuvta yatha mane bhi ramate tadvan, right? So just as, the young men and young women have their hearts and minds attracted to each other with that focus and that concentration, please let my heart be also absorbed in that. So I don't know if you notice or not, but Prabhuji in the back, he was so absorbed in reading it, he was so relishing the reading of it that he didn't even know how many verses he read. And this is exactly what is known as Ramanti. You get so absorbed in it that you forget everything that's going around it. Okay? So now Krishna has taken care of this 16,108, but now let's see what he's going to do. Anybody wants to read that part?
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Hare Krishna, sure, go ahead.
Translation. Lord Krishna also dispatched 64 swift white elephants, descendants of Airavata, who each sported 4 tusks.
How many tusks? 4, okay.
The Lord then went to the abode of Indra, the demigod's king, and gave Mother Aditi her earrings. There Indra and his wife worshipped Krishna and his beloved consort Satyabhama. Then at Satyabhama's behest, the Lord uprooted the heavenly Parijata tree and put it on the back of Garuda. After defeating Indra and all the other demigods, Krishna brought the Parijata to his capital.
So what is Krishna doing here? Huh? Yeah, Parijata tree he has done, but then how will you classify that act of taking the Parijata tree?
He is fulfilling the desire of Satyabhama.
He is fulfilling the desire of Satyabhama, that he does, right? And how is he doing that? The approach. What about his approach? He just uprooted it, right? Shouldn't he have asked Indra? After all, he's gone to Indra's place, right? So Krishna can also take away things from us. Just like that, right? And okay, let's see what happens next.
Once planted, the Parijata tree beautified the garden of Queen Satyabhama's palace. Bees followed the tree all the way from heaven, greedy for its fragrance and sweet sap. Anybody else wants to?
Thank you.
Even after Indra had bowed down to Lord Achyuta, touched his feet with the tips of his crown, and begged the Lord to fulfill his desire, that exalted demigod, having achieved his purpose, chose to fight with the Supreme Lord. What ignorance there is among the gods! To hell with their opulence.
Isn't it amazing? Yeah.
Then the imperishable Supreme Personality, assuming a separate form for each bride, duly married all the princesses simultaneously, each in her own palace.
Let's continue.
The Lord, performer of the inconceivable, constantly remained in each of his queen's palaces, which were unequaled and unexcelled by any other residence. There, although fully satisfied within himself, he enjoyed with his pleasing wives, and like an ordinary husband, he carried out his household duties.
Thank you. Anybody wants to do? Okay, Mataji, take the microphone, please. Thank you.
Thus those women obtained as their husband the husband of the goddess of fortune. Although even great demigods like Brahma do not know how to approach him. With ever increasing pleasure, they experienced loving attraction for him, exchanged smiling glances with him, and reciprocated with him in ever fresh intimacy, replete with joking and feminine shyness.
Okay, continue.
Although the Supreme Lord's queens each had hundreds of maidservants, they chose to personally serve the Lord by approaching him humbly, offering him a seat, worshipping him with excellent paraphernalia, bathing and massaging his feet, giving him pan to chew, fanning him, anointing him with fragrant sandalwood paste, adorning him with flower garlands, dressing his hair, arranging his bed, bathing him, and presenting him with various gifts.
Okay, so this was the narration, right? So the two things Krishna did, one was taking care of Narakasura, and the second was this episode with Indra. So this is so today is the Narakasura Chaturdashi. So I just thought that we should just bring this over here, and I also wanted to bring. I also wanted to highlight some of the qualities of Krishna as we read these stories, so-called stories as they appear to be, but these are happenstances for true. Okay. So let's see, I think I had So Krishna is doing so many things, as you also see, we have heard enough of him as a butter thief, but there are certain, and we saw that he took away the parijat flower. It's almost thieving, right? It's not even thieving, it's dacoitry, right? Right in front of the owner, you take that plaything away. So Krishna is capable of doing that. So there's a very nice Ashtakam written by Bilva Mangal Thakur, who is the author of Krishna Karnamrita, right? So very nice story he's written. So we'll sing this. We'll sing this for the next few minutes. So we'll first, as usual, one of the things about, for most of us who have brought in India, we know these verses because our mothers used to read it and recite, and our grandmothers used to recite, so we know it, but we might not understand the meaning. And once we go into the meanings are always very deep, because these songs which are there, they are all based on the scriptures. And so they will convey in a singing manner, nice manner, all that we read in the scriptures. So it's important for us to understand these verses first, okay? So again, maybe I'll just do one reading and then we can continue, okay? I offer my respectful obeisances to that foremost of thieves, who is famous in Vraja as the butter thief, and he who steals the gopis' clothes, and who for those who take shelter of him steals the sins which have accrued over many lifetimes, right? So, like I was saying earlier when we were talking about yuvatinam yata yuni yunam cha yupto yata, I was talking about that at least we have the capability to concentrate. All that we have to do is to change the focus of our concentration. Right? Similarly, here also we say that, Krishna is a thief. He can steal things. It's a bad thing. But he's a thief, so there's also one more thing that he can steal, right? And what does he steal away here? The sins. How many sins? Unlimited, right? Unlimited. Accumulated. They accumulate over many, many lifetimes, right? So, Vraje prasiddham navanita charam gopangananam jadukula charam. Vraje prasiddham navanita charam gopangananam jadukula charam. Aneka janmarjita papa charam Chora graganyam purusham namami. Aneka janmarjita papacharam chora graganyam purusham namami. So I was thinking about this verse, chora graganyam. So chora is chor. A chor is a thief. Chora ganyam means thief-like people, the thief people, thief-like, right? And agra means first. So he's the first, he's the best among all the thieves. And we know that in Bhagavad Gita he talks about I'm this, I'm the taste of water, I'm this and I'm that. And Krishna is the best of everything. That's the definition of Krishna. That's the definition of God. He's got to be best of everything. So if he's a thief, he'll be the best of the thief. If he's a singer, he'll be the best of all the singers. By definition, God is like that, right? So that's why he's saying he's a Chora Graganyam. He's the foremost of all of them, right? Okay. Shri Radhikaya Hridayasya Charam Navam Buddhasha Malakanti Charam. Shri Radhikaya Hridayasya Charam Navam Buddhasha Malakanti Charam. Pradashritanam cha samasta charam chora graganyam purusham namami. Padashritanam cha samasta charam chora graganyam purusham namami. So what's the translation for this? Anybody wants to read? Where are the microphones? Grab a microphone. Okay, go ahead, Maxi. Go for it. Okay, we'll give a chance to this. Okay.
I offer my respectable obeisances to the foremost of thieves, who steals Srimati Radhika's heart, who steals the dark luster of a fresh rain cloud, and who steals all the sins and sufferings of those who take shelter of his feet.
Right, so we saw Krishna stealing the Parijata flower, then we said that he can steal away your sins, and then he can also steal away the hearts, which he did of those 16,108 women also, right, when the princes, when they saw him there, right? And then what does he do? He also steals away what? There's one more thing here.
Sins and sufferings.
Yes, sins and sufferings, yeah, but they are not here in this verse. This particular verse, I'm looking for what's one more thing. Darkness. The dark luster of a fresh rain cloud. So fresh rain cloud looks so beautiful, but Krishna is the color of the rain cloud, right? But he even steals that away, right? So the clouds will look lusterless in front of Krishna. Okay, let's go and see the next one. Akinjanani give it to me. Ya karoti bhikshum patigehahinam kenapyaho bhishanachara idrik drishtashuto vana jagatrayepi. Okay, what does he do? Okay, yeah.
He turns his surrendered devotees into paupers and wandering homeless beggar, alas, Such a fearsome thief has never been seen or heard of in all the three worlds.
Have you heard? Okay, so he turns his surrendered devotees into paupers. Example. Pandavas, go ahead. Sudama, okay. Hansya Vimati says Sudama, yes, and from the back Sudama. Sudama is trending today. Srila Prabhupada, yeah. Srila Prabhupada, this is his special mercy, Krishna's special mercy. Yeah. And then we also see as the tiny incarnation, what did he do? Bali Maharaj, right? He took away all the riches of Bali Maharaj. How many riches? All of them, all the three worlds, yeah, all of them were gone just by, he did that. So that's what also he does that. And then you also see Tyaktva tunam ashesha mandalapati shrenim sada tuchyavat. So who are these we are talking about? The 6 Goswamis. And what position did they have? Tyaktva. What position did they leave? Tyaktva tunam ashesha mandalapati. They were Mandalpati, they were big cabinet ministers, right? In Nawab Hussein's cabinet. And they left all that. Shrenim Sadha Tuchvat. They said all these positions, etc., Tuch, they are small, they left it. Right? So he will steal away that also by stealing away your mind, diverting your mind towards that. But all for the ultimate good there, right? Okay. Yadiya namapi haratya ashesham Giri prasaran apipaparashim Ascharya rupo nanuchara idrik Drishta shruto vanamaya kadapi. Let's see, this is an important verse. Who wants to read it? Who wants to read the most important verse? You want to read it, Mataji? Okay, she pressed the buzzer first. Okay, go for it. Okay.
Mere utterance of his name purges one of a mountain of sins. Such an astonishingly wonderful thief I have never seen or heard of anywhere.
Anywhere, right? So what is the remedy now for our sins that you accumulated? We talked about that in the beginning of the verses. And when we accumulate that, how high does it become? Like a mountain, right? Mountain, and then what's the remedy for that accumulation? Uttering of his name, that's going to purge it, right? And earlier also when we were reading narration of Narakasura, there was a description of there's one weapon that can break the mountains. What is that weapon that can break the mountains? Can you do it with a sword? Thunderbolt, right? So this utterance of the holy name is like a thunderbolt, which will break down the mountains of sins that we have accumulated. Okay. Dhanam jamanam jatathendriyani pranam shahitva mama sarvameva palayase kutra dhritotya tvam bhakti tamna simaya niruttaha. You wanted to read that, right? Yeah. Vrindasevika Mataji.
O thief, having stolen my wealth, my honor, my senses, my life, and my everything, where can you run to? I have caught you with the rope of my devotion.
So this is interesting thing, right? So he's thief, and when the thief is there, you run after the thieves. And it's so funny that when I was growing up, which was a long time ago, they used to thief, and they would do like small thievery they would do, and they were not very much armed also. I mean, these days if somebody is taking, like somebody's even in your house and taking something away, you don't do anything because they could be armed, they'll take out a gun and they'll shoot you, right? But earlier they were like, pakado, bhago, like run after him, catch him, and things are like that. So, but here, because you want to get the things back, right? So now Krishna has stolen everything. You've stolen my wealth, my honor. So who lost their honor? Huh? Sorry? Draupadi, yeah, but Draupadi didn't lose the honor because of following Krishna. Who lost their honor because they were following Krishna? Honor, very, very, gopis, exactly, right? They lost their honor, right? How do we face our brothers, our husbands, and things like that? Even the Brahmanas, the story of the Brahmanas, the wives of the Brahmanas, right? They had left their husbands to come and serve Krishna. So it was like, who's going to take us back like that, right? And so, and my life and my everything, and life, Bali Maharaj actually gave life not in so many ways, but when you put your head down, the other person can kill you. So he had said, my life and my everything, where can I run to? But then, pakdo, where has he caught him? I have caught you with the rope of my devotion. Okay. Chinatsi ghoram yamapasha bandham Vinasti bhimam bhavapasha bandham Jinatsi sarvasya samasta bandham Nirvatmano bhakta kritam tu bandham. Alright, who wants to read? Any takers? Alright, go for it.
You cut the terrible noose of Yamaraja. You sever the dreadful noose of material existence, and you slash everyone's material bondage, but you are unable to cut the knot fastened by your own loving devotees.
And who was the loving devotee who recently we have been talking about, who is tying up Krishna? Yashoda Maya, right? The Damodara Ashtakam, which we will sing tonight. Okay, so then going on to the 7th verse. Man manestam sarashi ghore Kara grihe dukkhamai nipattha Labhasvahi chora hari chiraya Swacharya doshyo chitam eva dandam. Looking for a reader. Alright, go for it.
O Krishna, thief of my everything, the noose of my devotion, remaining forever tight, you will continue to reside in the prison house of my heart, because I will not release you for millions of eons.
Millions of eons, right? So it's like not life imprisonment. It's millions of eons I'm going to. So that's the mood of the devotee, right? And it's not like, oh Krishna, thief of my everything. And they're relishing the fact. You can see there's a relish there in that statement, right? You stole away everything that I have. Kind of like the same mood that we see in the Shikshashtakam where he says, that you have taken away everything and you are a debauchee, but still, I will think about you. So it's kind of that kind of a love at a very high level for Krishna. Vraje prasiddham navanita charam gopan gananam chatukula charam aneka janmarchita papa charam charagraganyam purisham namami karagrahe vasasada hide madiye Madbhakti pasha didabandhana nischalasan Tvam Krishna he pralaya koti shatantarepi Sarvasya chora hridayan nahi mochiyami. O Krishna, thief of my everything, the noose of my devotion remaining forever tied, you will continue to reside in the prison house of my heart, because I will not release you for millions of eons. So this was Chora Ashtakams. I thought I'll bring this in while we are talking about the 5 days of Diwali, right? So what was the first day of Diwali? Dhanvantara, yeah, Dhanvantari takes incarnation. What was second day? The Narakasura, and we read about that. We read about his pastimes together with Narakasura, his pastimes with the Indra of the Parijat flowers, and then we did the Chaurashtakam. And then the third day is, which we know very famously, Diwali is known as, which is tomorrow, right? So we have Lord Chandra's return to Ayodhya, okay? So then the day number 4 is the Govardhan Puja, which will happen here at the temple. We'll make a nice Govardhan hill, all made of halwa, and we'll put decorations. We will, Hansapriya Mataji and her team are going to work on making it very nice and make you feel, if you're feeling separation from Govardhan, of not having been able to go there this year, then we are going to create that for you here in the temple. So please do come on Tuesday. Okay, so Govardhan Puja, I don't have to tell you much about that. And during the month of Karthik, Krishna did this pastime where he told his Nand Maharaj that, why do you offer everything to Indra? Instead you should offer it to me, and things like that. Indra got angry and he sent some dangerous clouds And they started to pour water all over Vraja. And then Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill on the pinky finger for 7 days and protected the people. So this is another example of he gives shelter to his devotees. And you can see that in the picture that he has given shelter to the devotees there. And the fifth day of Diwali, the 5-day celebration that we do is, the Yam Raja, also known as Bhai Dooj or Bhai Doj, right? So Raksha Bandhan is the day for the brothers, right? And Bhai Doj is the day for the sisters. So Yam Raj is there. Who's Yam Raj's sister? Is Yami. So Yam and Yami, they are brothers and sisters, right? So Yam Raj went to visit his sister, Yami, on this day. And he gave her a benediction, and he said that anybody who comes to visit you on this day will be freed of all the sins and will be liberated. So then that's the reason that brothers also go and visit their sisters, as a mark of that. Okay? So these are the 5 days that we have amongst the Diwalis, but then, the main focus is on Lord Ramchandra's return to Ayodhya. That's where what we celebrate with much gusto, lighting all, the lights in a house, decorating it, cleaning the house out, making sweetmeats, getting new clothes, greeting people, so we do all that things during Diwali. There. So Ayodhya, right? So I'm going to ask a few questions about Ayodhya. So Ayodhya is situated in the banks of which river? Yamuna or Ganga? Saryu, exactly. What are the other names of Saryu? Okay, it's also known as Ghagra. And Manas Nandini is some of the other names. It's such a beautiful picture there. I saw this picture and I wanted to go to Ayodhya. I've never been to Ayodhya actually. So yeah, but the question here is that it talks about Ramchandra's return to Ayodhya and from where he was exiled, right, by his father on the behest of his mother, Kaikeyi. So we know that story. I'm not going to repeat that story here. But the question here is that we talk about Ram returning to Ayodhya, but the question is, what is your Ayodhya and where is your Ayodhya? Right? We are here in USA. There's no Ayodhya. We're not going there, right? And so your Ayodhya actually is your heart. To think about, on this occasion of Diwali, think about Ayodhya as your heart. And then the question to ask is that, has Ram returned to Ayodhya? Has Ram come back to my heart or not? Right? That's the mood in which we should be celebrating Diwali. The mood of Diwali is not like the mood I used to have, like, oh, sweetmeats, oh, a new frock, oh, this and that. No, that's the mood that we as devotees, we as Vaishnavas, that's the mood we inculcate on the occasion of Diwali. That because if we banish Ram from our heart, then who's going to live there? That was so prompt. Yes, Rama is going to live there, yeah? And so Rama comes into heart in the form of? Six what? Sixer? Cricket? He comes in the form of 6 something. Yeah, please take the mic from Anand Kishore Prabhu. You haven't spoken this evening. I'm waiting to hear from you.
So it comes in the form of 6 enemies, which are lust, anger, greed, pride, envy. Right, and so yeah, lagi mein, as they say. So lust, and these are the gates to hell. These are going to take you to hell, right? So our idea is that we want to bring Ram back into home. Ram or Krishna, they're one and the same. We want to bring them back into our hearts, and then the question is that first the heart has to be clean. Like how Vaisheshika Prabhu says that when Radhanath Swami Maharaj comes to visit his home, he and Guruma, they are busy cleaning every nook and spot and corner. They bring ladders. They're looking at, if there's a cobweb here, little dust there, little dust there. Why? Because you're bringing an exalted personality into your home. So you have to make your home worthy of that exalted personality to visit. So similarly, if you're saying that, hey Ram, come, the song like Mere Hirday Mein Baso, Sham. But for Sham, or come and live in my heart, Sham. That's what it translates. But the thing is that, are we making our hearts worthy of Krishna to come and live there? And manifest himself in full-fledged there, right? So we'll have to take a microscope and find out what is there in our heart. And we really have to
deep down look and do a sincere thing. And after we do the sincere heart searching, at least when I did the sincere heart searching, when the book by Srila Prabhupada, Bhagavad Gita, manifested itself in my life in an Indian grocery store in Foster City, I did some soul searching. And of course, that's why I relate so much to Vigyapti Panchaka prayers, because the first verse is, what does the first verse? Anybody remembers Vigyapti Panchaka here? It says, there's nobody more sinful than I am. Right? So that is what we have to do. So really look into your heart and really acknowledge that there is dirt over there. Otherwise, normally what happens is that the dirt is always in the other person's heart, right? The problem is always with others. It's not, the problem is never with me. And actually, when I started reading the Bhagavad Gita from Prabhupada and the way he put the things there in front of all of us, up until then, around me, the whole world was wrong. Everybody was wrong and they were torturing me. And when you start reading all that, then you realize that, actually you are torturing them and they are tolerating you. So when that shift happens, when the shift happens and then you acknowledge and you're ready, then only can the vacuum cleaners come and clean. You have to first acknowledge the house is dirty. So that is a big part of, devotional service there. So is Lord Ramchandra in our hearts? That's something that we have to go and look. If not, then who is? And Anand Kishore Prabhu said 6 are going to come there, right? So if there is dirt in our heart, right? The doctors, you go to a doctor and say, how are you going to clean my heart? Well, doctors say, why when is the heart dirty? There's a lot of cholesterol in there. That's their concept, the material level. So there is that, atherectomy that they do, where they can clean your arteries. And how do they do it? With a tiny rotating blade or a laser at the end of it, it'll go and clean your artery. And with the ideas that you'll get back to normal, you'll live life again, and you can eat again. The very reason that we got that in the first place, so we can do that. But this thing, we are not talking about, these won't get away, lust, anger, grief, will they? Anand Kishore Prabhu, you told us about the 6 urges. Will atherectomy help us with that? No, right? It won't help us, so we have to look for something else. We'll have to look for some other solution for cleansing our heart, right? So Narad gave that instruction to Vyasadeva in the Srimad Bhagavatam, right? And he said in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5, and I'll have to go to the next slide. I won't bother Charunamai Prabhu now, 1.38. Iti murti abhidhanena mantra murtim amurtikam yajate yagya purusham sasamyak darshana puman. So he's giving the instructions that he has spoken some before, the 38 verses that he spoke to his disciple. Then he says, thus, he is the actual seer who worships in the form of transcendental sound representation, the supreme personality of Godhead Vishnu, who has no material form. So, actual seer. If you are not the actual seer, then we are paschyan apina paschyati. We are seeing, but we are still not seeing it. So, actual seer is the one who is saying that Murti means form, right? So now we are talking about Krishna in the form of sound vibration. It is this sound vibration that's going to help us cleanse our heart, right? So in that form, we should go and worship him. So in the purport, he's saying, our present senses are all made up of material elements. How many material elements are there? 5 and 3. 5 gross and 3 subtle, right? So, bhumi apo analo vayu kham mano buddhi revacha ahankaram ityame bhinna prakriti ashtada. So, our present senses are all made of material elements, and therefore they are imperfect in realizing the transcendental form of Lord Vishnu. He is therefore worshipped by sound representation via the transcendental method of chanting. Anything which is beyond the scope of experience by imperfect senses can be realized fully by the sound representation. This is very interesting thing. Right? Because sometimes by hearing the sound of a siren, you know that the train is approaching. Right? Sign of a horn, you know the train is coming. You don't see the train. You don't feel the train, right? But so sometimes you can figure out, if the lion roars, you know there's a lion there. So sound is powerful, you can know about that, right? But the main thing here is the method of chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. A person transmitting sound from a far distance place can be factually experienced. If this is materially possible, why not spiritually? This is a very important part of this verse. That if you can experience that in the material world, if a child is crying 10 blocks away, the mother can hear it, right? And can know from the sound what is the situation of the child. So if you can do that in the material world, why can you not do that spiritually? That's a big promise over here that Prabhupada is giving us in this purport, that by just chanting the transcendental names of the Lord, you will come to know about the Lord, right? And get close to Him, and that will cleanse our hearts. So this experience is not a vague, impersonal experience. It is actually an experience of the transcendental personality of Godhead. The personality, you will see the person, God, with the flute in His hands, right? Who possesses the pure form of eternity, bliss and knowledge, Sat, Chit and Anand. In the Amarkosha dictionary, Sanskrit dictionary, the word murti carries import in twofold meanings, namely form and difficulty. Therefore, amurtikam is explained by Acharya Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur as meaning without difficulty. The transcendental form of eternal bliss and knowledge can be experienced by original spiritual senses, which can be revived by chanting the holy mantras or transcendental sound representations. So, spiritual senses can be revived. Isn't that a good thing? Isn't that a good promise? A good hope is there that they are there with you, right? Such sound should be received from the transparent agency of the bona fide spiritual master, and the chanting may be practiced by the direction of the spiritual master that will gradually lead us nearer to the Lord. This method of worship is recommended in the Panchartrika system, which is both recognized and which is authorized. So this is very interesting when they talk about the bona fide spiritual master. I was surfing the internet to find internet and of course YouTube there to search for something, and I was listening to some short narration there, and how you know that you're listening to something and you get busy, you start doing something, you walk away to the next room, you're still listening to that, and then the YouTube will change to something else, right? So in my case, it changed to something else, and there was an initiation ceremony going on, but not an ISKCON initiation ceremony. So I was like, oh, initiation ceremony. I said, let me go and see what was it. I came back to see. And so I found, of course, the spiritual master was there, and there was the disciple. And disciple was crying loudly, very terribly, crying. And the room was full of people. They were walking around and all that. And then the guru came and touched this lady on the head, and then she fell down. And the others came and dragged her out of the room. And soon the camera focused here and there. And there were so many people in such a condition. They were lying on the floor. And then I was just making a contrast, because we just recently had an initiation ceremony here at the temple. I was just comparing that to how beautiful the ceremonies here are. Nobody cries. Nobody falls on the ground. The guru doesn't do these kind of things to them, right? We go much deeper there, and that's why we should be very thankful to Srila Prabhupada for presenting the Shastras in the right way. I mean, they were also doing Om, Om, Om like that, but so, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, I can only say that, to that. So that's why they're saying that you have to go to a bona fide spiritual master, otherwise you won't even know how to chant the names of the Lord properly. There. The Panchartrika system has the most authorized codes for transcendental devotional service. Without the help of such codes, one cannot approach the Lord, certainly not by dry philosophical speculation. The Panchartrika system is both practical and suitable for this age of quarrel. The Pancharatra is more important than the Vedanta for this modern age, right? Vedanta will lead you to impersonalism and things like that. So this modern age just use Panchatriki Vidhi, and which has been simplified for us actually also. So what happens when you are doing this chanting? Suppose you say mantra murti ma murtikam, okay? So they said difficulties will be removed. So difficulties in your devotional service will be removed, right? Don't think all the difficulties are going to be removed, because we did the Chora Ashtakam just now, right? You can steal away all your things. So difficulties can come to you still. But what changes is our approach towards these difficulties, right? Previously, if a difficulty comes, your whole world just falls down. Right, whole worlds fall down, and here the world is falling down, but I'm just thinking like, this is just material. Nothing like that. Nothing has happened, So when we chant all these things, the effects are going to happen on us, and the effect from Srimad Bhagavatam 11:240 is defining somebody who has been given this holy name, has been chanting this holy name. Evam vrata swa priyanam kirtya jata nurago drutachit uchya hasatya thorodati rati gayatya unmadavan rityati lok bhayaha. By chanting the holy name of Supreme Lord, one comes to the stage of love of Godhead. Prema Pumartha Mahan. Then the devotee is fixed in his vow as an eternal servant of the Lord, and he gradually becomes very much attached to a particular name and form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As his heart melts with ecstatic love, he laughs very loudly or cries or shouts. Sometimes he sings and dances like a madman, for he is indifferent to public opinion. Who were those who were indifferent to public opinion and used to shout and sing and dance? Haridas Thakur was one. He Radhe Vraj Devi ke Jalalite, He Nanda Suno Kutha. Right? So they used to sing Gayantam. The 6 Goswamis, they used to do that, right? They were cabinet ministers and they are there. And what were they wearing? Kopina Kantha Shrita. Kopin, right? Loincloth and just here. Okay? So then you get into that mood and then you say, I want more. That's what's going to happen to you. So, Tunde Tandavani Ratim Vitanute Tundavali Lapthaye Karna Kruda Kadambani Ghatayate Karna Budhebhyas Phiram Cheta Prangana Sangani Vijayate Sarvendriyanam kritim no jane janita kiyaptiramrite Krishne tivarnam dvai. So this is from Chaitanya Charitamrita Antalila 1.99. And it says, I do not know how much nectar the 2 syllables Krishna, Krish and Na have produced. When the holy name of Krishna is chanted, it appears to dance within the mouth. Then we desire many, many more mouths. When that name enters the holes of the ears, we desire many millions of ears. And when the holy name dances in the courtyard of the heart, it conquers the activities of the mind. And therefore, all the senses become inert. And you don't want to give up. You want more and you don't want to give up, right? Dhautatma Purusha Krishna Padamulam Namunchati Mukta Sarva Parikleshaha Pantha Swa Sharanam Yatha. A pure devotee of the Lord whose heart has once been cleansed by the process of devotional service never relinquishes the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, for they fully satisfy him as a traveler is satisfied at the home after a troubled journey. Right? And I don't know, what is it with the home? That you could be very tired. It used to happen to me, like so tired at office, working and thinking that, as soon as I reach home and you're driving, there's traffic jam. And I used to work and exit away from your home and there used to be 30 minutes worth of traffic jam, just one exit. And you're so tired and you're thinking the first thing I'll do is go home I'll just go to sleep. I don't want dinner, I don't want anything. And then you put your foot in your home and all the tiredness goes away. What is it with home? I don't know. And so now here we are talking about going back to our original home from where we have been dropped here into this material world. So Dhaut Atma, Dhaut means Dhona, wash, purified, right? Purified. So Dhaut Atma, the soul is purified, soul gets purified, right? Or actually the consciousness of the soul gets purified over there, right? So talking about the chanting of the holy names of the Lord, just to remind you that we have been saying that this Diwali, you bring Lord Rama into your heart, make your heart a suitable place for Rama or Krishna to come. And also, that can happen by the process of chanting, which is, listed as one of the top 5 potent activities of devotional service. There are 64 items of devotional service listed in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and also quoted in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. But this one is one of the 5 potents. So let's say, Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirta Bhagavata Shravana Mathurava Sri Murtera Shraddha Yasevana Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much, dear devotees, for coming here and attending this class. And now we will follow this by a beautiful Damodarashtakam. And who's singing that today? Do we know? Okay, we don't. But anyway, we are going to just turn around. Please use a mic. Prabhu, please use a microphone, please. Please use a microphone. Give a microphone to Hansa Premadaji.
Hare Krishna, Mother Shraddha. Thank you very much for a wonderful lecture. And now we'll have Damodarashtakam, so you can be seated. Just turn towards the deities. And the front 2 rows, if you can move a little bit back, so Vedavyas Prabhu, who is leading the Kirtan this evening, can be accommodated. And the Kirtan team, if you could join them. To Vedavyas Prabhu, is he in house? Oh, there he is. Okay, and then we'll have the devotees line up behind the arch. So if you would like to offer a ghee lamp, you would really enjoy it. So just make a line behind the arch. And also the devotees who are seated here on the chairs, you're feel free to turn the angle towards the deities. And while Prabhu is getting settled in, just you get ready and we settle in, and also we will have the Damodarashtakam on the screen. The parents of this kids, 6 years and younger, even 80 years and younger should be accommodated with the parents. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Namam Vishwaram Sachi Anandarupam Rasakulanangoku Rebrajamana. Namam Vishwaram Satchidanandarupam Rasakulagokude Brajamana. Namam Vishwaram Satchidanandarupam Rasakundalagokude Yashoda Biyaluka Jamanam Param Nishtayat Antam Vishtagopya. Yashoda Diyaluka Jamanam Param Nishtamatyam Vishtagopya. Rudam Tanyo Netra Rudam Nijantam Karamboja Yugmena Rudam Tamu Netra Nijantam Karamboja Yugmena Satanti Netra. Mushvasakam Patre Kanta Kanta Mushvasakam Patre Kanta Kanta Sita Griham Bhakti Bhagam Tatvam Puna Pramatam Tashakti Bande Adiyeshu Vajneshu Jatajitatvam Prima Primatastam Shakti Bande Moksham Moksham Vajindam Achanya Prideva Shraddha Moksham Moksham Vajindam Achanya Prideva Shraddha Namaste Spodham Sporadiptinamne Kandayavat Vishwasadamne Namaste Spodham Sporadiptinamne Aviyogaya Chasvasadamne Namo Nantalilaya Adhikaya Priyaya Namo Nantalilaya Divaya Gopaya Namo Adhikaya Priyaya Namo Nantalilaya Namo Adhikaya Priyaya Namo Kartikaya Adhikaya Priyaya Namo Nantalilaya Divaya Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha, Jaya Radha, Jaya Radha, Damodara Radha, Damodara Radha. Jaya Radha, Damodara Radha, Damodara Shri Radha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha, Damodara Radha, Damodara Radha. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Nrsimhadev Bhagavan ki, Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to ISKCON of Silicon Valley. We're especially pleased to have you here, given that it's the auspicious month of Karthik. We have 2 more Sundays of this month to go, and every day we have Damodar Arti, which is sung at 8 p.m. every day of the week. So if you would like, you can come join us here. But for today, we'd like to thank Her Grace Shraddha Devi Dasi Mataji for a wonderful class. Thank His Grace Veda Vyas Prabhu for leading a wonderful Damodar Arti, Kirtan, and Nrsimhadev prayers. So we have several sponsors for today's Sunday feast. So the first, and while I recite or say each sponsor's name, if you're here feel free to come up, and if you'd like to say a few words to request the blessings of the devotees, you may do so. So first is Rupa Vedagiri's daughter and son-in-law are sponsoring today on the occasion of the month of Karthik and the occasion of their housewarming ceremony. Are you here? Rupa and Vedagiri's daughter and son-in-law. They're not here today, but we will still thank them. Haribo. We also have Preeti Mataji and Tarun Prabhu. They're not sponsoring today. They will be giving out the gift boxes, sorry. We also have Ashish Prabhu, who is sponsoring for his father's recovery. Ashish Prabhu, are you here? No, we'll thank him as well. Haribo. Oh, please.
Well, so just keep my father-in-law in your prayers. He was not keeping well and he had a surgery. So we would like to sponsor on his behalf. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Our heartfelt prayers for your father-in-law's quick recovery. Hare Krishna. Today's feast was cooked by an army of cooks who was led by Siddha Katha Prabhu, Suvarna Gopika Mataji, Mukta Mataji, and Madhuri Saki, Niharika, Gita Priya, and many others helped. Haribo. And Hansapriya Mataji will be announcing the rest of the festivals that are coming up this week.
Thank you, Priya. Hare Krishna. Nice to have you, everyone, and happy Diwali. And it's just nice. Everyone's dressed up. It's beautiful. What we have is very exciting week ahead of us. We have Govardhan Puja. We're celebrating on Tuesday. And Srivas Pandit Prabhu doesn't know yet, but he will be giving us a wonderful lecture. And he's going to be here in the evening. We will have Anshu lead the evening Kirtan before the program starts. And then we have a wonderful Damodarastakam after the Govardhan Puja. And we also have the wonderful Aarti for the Giriraj Maharaj. So Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. And actually, this year, the Govardhan Hill is going to be a little different than other years. It's going to be very, very exciting. So I won't steal the thunder, but you better be here. That's all I can say. So, and especially if you have kids or families that you know with the kids, you must bring them because this is one of the rare opportunity, one of the rarest festival. And guess what? You don't have to fast. So you will have all the energy to come here. Okay? I know it's after work hours, but you will have all the energy to come down. And the next we have the Friday is the Srila Prabhupada's Disappearance Day. And that's going to be a beautiful, beautiful day. And we are so blessed to have Srila Prabhupada's disciples in the community of ISV. Even though we will be missing Vaisheshika Prabhu and Mother Narakasura, we will have His Grace Akronad Prabhu, Her Grace Kanka Mataji, Her Grace Jagarini Mataji. And if we are blessed, we may have Satyadev Prabhu, but we'll see. But anyway, it's a wonderful, wonderful evening, and they will be sharing their realizations with Srila Prabhupada, their time with Srila Prabhupada, and how they have been keep going even all these years, and how the Srila Prabhupada has been playing a role in their day-to-day life. So I would highly recommend you be here. Don't miss out on that wonderful opportunity that will really gain your strength in Srila Prabhupada, which will help you to go on. I won't be here, but I'm just for that festival. I'm flying on that day. I will be in Vrindavan, and I'll be praying for you in Srila Prabhupada's Samadhi for you. So, but I'm just saying that is how important is that festival. So please, even I know it's a Tuesday, Friday, everything is a big night, but the priority, what matters the most, should not be at the what matters the least. First is your priority, and that's your spiritual sadhana. And Srila Prabhupada will empower us by attending those silent festivals. So with that, I will see you all. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hansapriya Mataji. And after these announcements, we will have prasadam, which will be served in the parking lot. So feel free to honor prasadam there. But one more announcement is, if you have sponsored for Janmashtami, they have made custom-made jackets and many other gifts that are waiting for you in the back. There's a table in the corridor over there, so please stop by and gather your gift. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. And right after prasadam, we will have a very, very beautiful meditative kirtan where we'll be all singing Gopi Geet together. So please stay back for that as well. At 7 o'clock, people. Sharira Vidya Ja Jodi